Good morning. This is Ben Griffin here in downtown Baltimore. I'm at the University of Baltimore Business School, and I'm about to head inside for the Social Enterprise Mid-Atlantic Summit. I'm excited to meet a whole bunch of people that are in this sector, both consulting for social enterprise and working within social enterprise. My main goal today is to try to understand more about the organizational and resource needs of social enterprises, which will hopefully inform my business model for a consulting firm that will serve these organizations. Let's hop inside, see who we can meet.
Yeah. Right.
Hi there. I'm here for the conference.
Outstanding.
Oh, you have your
You're from
camera.
Baltimore.
From Bmore.
Right.
No, I'm not.
No? Which are you from?
I'm from Vermont.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Is that all right that I'm here?
That's lovely. Welcome.
Welcome to our second ever regional summit. We had our first regional summit just 10 days ago in Los Angeles, and it was a great success. And they told me in Los Angeles, people wander in late, but Baltimore's got nothing on Los Angeles, or Los Angeles has got nothing on Baltimore, because it looks like about half of our crowd has arrived, but we want to stay on schedule, so we're going to start. How many folks in the room are members of Social Enterprise Alliance? Love to see that. We're a membership organization. We do our work to support the field by supporting our members. We've grown about 50% in the last 12 months, so we just midsummer passed the 1,000 member mark. And about half of our members are involved in local chapters like the Maryland chapter here. The other half are in cities that we don't have chapters in, but we now have 13 chapters in 11 states, and hopefully in about a month we'll be announcing a new chapter in the Northwest. We do our work for the field really in 4 different ways. One of them is to spread knowledge, information, and build capacity. So we have a lot of knowledge and information products that we make available to our members. Secondly, we build communities and networks of social enterprises. We do that through our chapters, also through gatherings like this. A third focus of our work is on telling the stories of the field and aggregating the impact, because we believe that when the story about social enterprise becomes more widespread, so too will the support that it gets from the public. And then finally, we work on building a creative, a strong social enterprise ecosystem through some of our policy work, both state and locally, as well as federally, and other things that come up that allow us to support the field.
How many of you have a handle on the capacities and the capabilities your organization will need to have or to build in order to attract impact investing capital? Okay, interesting. That was less than a handful, by the way, in the last one, which I guess means maybe there's some value to what I'm going to say coming up here. We are undergoing a systemic shift in focus in the sector from outputs to outcomes that is going to profoundly affect everything that we do. And it's not just going to be the means by which you access impact investing capital, it's going to be the means by which you access all forms of capital. Grant capital, and you're seeing it already. Foundations giving you grants, they want to know what the outcomes are going to be. And there's a reason for that. We've been kind of gravitating towards this for a period of time. And until that thing happened called the Great Recession in 2008, it was a slow evolutionary process. And what happened with the Great Recession in 2008 is that everything blew up, including the business models of nonprofits and social enterprises. It is a permanent change in the funding of social sector and social services that was spawned by the 2008 recession. This is at least a decade's worth of stress. Whatever you're feeling now, you're going to feel it for a decade. Learn how to live with it and learn how to deal with changing your business models to accommodate these changes, because they are in effect permanent. And I think that's exactly what's happening. Whoever gets elected president in November, it's not going to change that dynamic in terms of the funding of the social sector. The good news is there is a growing practice and technology for outcomes measurement that is becoming less and less expensive over time. And there is a large and growing source of untapped capital looking for impact investing opportunities. And I mentioned JP Morgan, they have research reports out on impact investing, and they quote $1 trillion kind of looking for these investments. When you pull all this together, part of what we see when we look at this strategically is the notion that impact investing actually kind of is the hub that brings together a lot of things that are happening in the social sector and economically more generally in a macro event. And where you sit as social enterprises in this, then you see that impact investing is a way of kind of addressing all of these needs, whether it's the ongoing shift from outputs to outcomes, affordability and capability of measurement technologies, these structural changes in the economy which are forcing a focus on the delivery of outcomes, the choking off of your legacy sources of revenue and capital, and you can see this is part of the why you want to go there.
I think this is a talent game all the way down the line. Whether you're a sports analyst, what you want to call it, if you don't have the right players, you aren't going to win. It's real simple. And we continually fight this premise in the field. Well, we'll get by, he'll make it, or she'll get through. Bullshit. And every time you do that, you're hurting the very people you're destined to serve. That's who you're hurting. Every ineffective fundraiser, every bad job worker, every social worker that's doing their job, every teacher, and I'm not picking on people, I'm just being realistic. You have to have people in place who genuinely care and are going to strive to improve and be the best they can be. Or you're shortchanging those people you serve. And I believe that with every ounce of my body. And I'm going to use an example in general, like GE in the commercial world. They've had a long time relationship, a reputation for being heavily invested in leadership development. And if you looked at Corporate 500 global list, you'll see many GE leaders running corporations all over the world. Simple reason, there's a relentless focus in leadership development inside GE. And yeah, they have their stumbles, but basically, there's a relentless focus in leadership development inside the organization. And I think firms like IBM and American Express and others need to, we need to follow those models and adapt and inculcate that culture of leadership development. And I'm not talking about going to a course, I mean in your organization, in the nonprofit and government sector. I want you to think about this story. This comes from a close colleague of mine. And I'm going to quote this quote. It says, I was a schoolmaster. I realized that while I was a pretty good teacher, I was an ignoramus when it came to organizing and running an organization. Fortunately, I had a trustee who called her brother, who was then the CEO of Cummins Engine Company in Indiana. She said, Erwin, we've got to help this young man. His instincts are good, he wants to do right, but he does not know anything about running a school. Sound familiar? Goes on all the time. Flying to Indiana for intensive management training was the tipping point in my colleague's career. He went on to become the president of one of the largest, most respected, most effective foundations in the world. He will go back and attribute it to that week in Indiana. I'm seeing tectonic shifts in our society going to rock the foundations of the social sector and the public sector as we know. And I think anybody who's looking at the economic, fiscal, and social data, if you don't see these coming, I don't know what you're reading. I'm seeing middle-class families losing jobs and homes. I'm seeing a country with slippery rungs and fraying bootstraps. And I'm also seeing the difference that courageous leaders can make when they become intentional in defining their approaches, more rigorously engaged in their progress, and more willing to admit mistakes and learn from them, and more capable of quickly adapting and improving. All with one thing, an unrelenting focus and passion for improving lives, which has to be our guiding point to everything. We need to supercharge these kind of leaders, help them live the play before it happens, support them, nudge them, reward them, enlist them to spread this gospel to their peers. I believe, at the end of the day, investing in good leaders and helping them become great ones is the single best investment we all can make. It's the proven strategy for ensuring that our hard work will produce high performance and real enduring opportunity for families and communities all through our nation. Thank you all for the question.
Well, that's it from here in Baltimore. It's been a beautiful day with the sun setting in the background. Met a lot of great people, learned a lot of great things. And I think I'll consider coming back to the Social Enterprise Alliance Mid-Atlantic regional summits next year. Take care.